Hi everybody, this is Bob from Buckeye Sports Center. I'm really excited today to take a look at the all-new 2022 Bayliner M17. If you're not familiar with Bayliner, you know that last year they released the M15. This is now the larger version of that boat. That boat was really successful. I mean, it was almost an impossible boat to get. I anticipate that'll be the same with the M17. So first off, let's talk about the design of the boat, why it's unique in the marketplace, and what really makes this boat a great value for any boaters looking to get into this particular boat. One of the things that Bayliner does a great job of, and a lot of innovation that you see in the industry is typically on the high end. There's not a lot of innovation, new technology, new hull designs in the value segment. And this M17 is a good example of really, taking that entry-level boat, not being, going too crazy, adding options or things that drive cost up, but getting a good value-oriented boat into the market with new technology, new hull designs, modern layouts, and let's see what some of those features are in this M17. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the hull design and the bow. So we've got basically what they call an M hull, which is why it's called an M17. So if you think about the hull making an M shape, it's literally like an M. If we look down, we have a nice little deep V in the front, where you kind of see two pods on either side, and that's where you create side-to-side stability. On these smaller boats, stability is key because you're not looking at a lot of length, you're not looking at a lot of weight. So it's very easy for boats to be tippy side to side. What that M hull does is it makes that boat very stable. You can have even multiple people loaded on one side of the boat and it doesn't feel like the boat's going to tip over. And the other thing that people like, especially new boaters, one of the sensations that you find when you're riding in maybe a bow rider style boat is that when you turn, they kind of dive into the turns, and it kind of really feels like that person on that left-hand side making that left-hand turn is really diving into the water, and it kind of feels uncomfortable for some people. With the M hull, that boat doesn't dive, it stays pretty true, and it stays pretty level all the way through that turn. So a lot of people really appreciate, especially new boaters, the sensation where you're not really kind of caving and diving into a turn. It feels very stable, very solid all the way through the turn. And then the other advantage of that design in the bow is that we kind of create a deck boat style bow, so a wider bow area. Again, we're only looking at 17 feet, so we want that extra wide space, and you can see we've got the center extra cushions and different things that we'll talk about in a minute, but how big of an area we see in the bow. So this has really honestly got a bigger bow than maybe a lot of 20-foot bow riders. So again, that space utilization, that M hull design maximizes space in the boat, maximizes side-to-side stability. So as we move into the transom of the M17, you're going to notice some differences and some upgrades over what the M15 has. First off, we can kind of see again in the hull design that M shape, where the boat kind of creates that M hull configuration. It rides really well in a light chop, so you're going to see again great side-to-side stability, as well as good little V bottom to it, so it'll run through some chop. We have a 4-step boarding ladder right here, that all stainless steel that flips down. We also have kind of a 2-step platform area. The 1 step has a little backrest built in, which is different from the M15, where you can kind of sit and chill, lounge, or if you're kind of getting your wakeboard booted up or something like that for tow sports, it's kind of a nice little seating area, when people are jumping off the back, or if you're idled in a cove, or anchored in a cove or whatever. And then the power that we're going to find on the M17, we're maxed out here at a 90 horsepower Mercury. You can see that right here. So you're going to be able to do certainly a little bit more water sports than you would do on like the M15 with a 60 horsepower. So a little bit more ability to ski potentially for lighter weight people, a little bit wilder ride on the tube, and certainly wakeboarding is more than available to do behind this boat. And you also see the built-in ski tow bar with a lot of elevation there, so plenty of clearance over the motor. Right now the motor's tilted all the way up, so you can see even with the rope coming down, the motor tilted down, there's plenty of clearance on the ski tow bar on this boat. So as we move inside the cockpit of the M17, again, we're looking at 17 feet, and if we kind of segment the boat by transom, cockpit, and bow, all three have a good amount of space in it, each individually, for this size boat. A couple, again, little differences from the M15 is we talked about the transom area where you kind of have these extra seats back here. You have this extra little storage compartment that can be used as a cooler, or if you get a fish package option, I think that turns into a little live well. Nice cup holders all the way through the transom area. There's also a nice little area down here where a cooler can be easily stored underneath the seat right there. One difference here is that on the M17 we go to a built-in gas tank rather than a portable, so you have additional fuel capacity. This boat also, you can kind of tell, this one's kind of juiced up with a lot of options. So we've talked about the ski tow bar. We also didn't talk about yet the matting on the transom area, on the rear kind of boarding area, as well as the port side area. There's a little bit of non-skid matting, also non-skid matting on the main floor, so that's an upgrade. We have a nice big bimini top that covers the whole center cockpit and even these rear seats a little bit. That's included option. This boat also has a stereo system with Bluetooth compatibility, a depth finder, so it really is loaded with most every option that's available on this boat. Again, this is a value-oriented boat, but we still see nice stitching and upholstery, in the furniture. It's not, it's actually kind of got a gray tone to it, but really a high-end look to that. Again, we're not going too crazy because we don't want to drive the cost up too high, but just little details like that. Stainless steel grab handles here, over there on the port side. Some nice upgraded features that you don't normally find on a boat like this. I'm sitting here obviously at the driver helm area. I'm a bigger guy. I'm sitting in a comfortable seat here. There's kind of a bench seat built in, so not having a dedicated captain's chair does save a little bit of cost, but it's a nice comfortable seat. I've got a little armrest area over here. I can throttle the boat real easily. I've got an adjustable tilt wheel, all right, and again, plenty of space for my legs, to maneuver around and get around without a problem. Other little things like running lights and your bilge pump are located easily off to the right. A very simple little dash, not going too crazy. Overall, again, excellent space utilization on the M17. Okay, so as we move into the bow of the M17, we talked about this earlier, but this is just a very, very big bow for a 17-foot boat. I'm sitting facing backwards here with a pad here. At least 2, if not 3 people can sit facing backwards if you've got a tuber or a skier, or if you want to talk to the driver. It's a comfortable seat just sitting in this direction. You also can sit, we've got the optional filler cushions and bow block off on this particular boat. So these 2 pieces here are basically additional padding for the bow filler. And then we've got the bow block off that actually allows 3 people to sit facing forward to kind of create a whole separate area of the boat, which is really nice. Storage is also a really important thing on the M17. We'll first look under the console, where there's a huge storage compartment on the lower level to throw backpacks or bumpers or pretty much anything you want down there. And then that upper shelf is a little, great spot for keys or wallet or other things on that upper shelf there. And then on the port side, there's a 2-point access area where you can get some bigger items. You can see there we've got a propeller in a box, but big storage area down there, which you can access from that compartment, as well as smaller items you can get through this compartment up here, which access to the same storage area. So thanks for checking out the M17 Bayliner with us at Buckeye Sports Center. For more information about this boat and other boats on our website, BuckeyeSportsCenter.com. We also do tons of YouTube videos from 14 different brands where we do walk-arounds like this to kind of educate everybody. And we appreciate all the comments and subscriptions we'll get on our YouTube page for that. In summary, great value here on the M17. Again, not a lot of companies put a lot of effort into value-priced boats. This boat really just does a lot for the money. With a 90 horsepower, you're looking at enough good speed for some light skiing, tubing, family fun. Gives you a little bit more space. You can get up to 7 people. This boat's rated for. So overall, just a ton of bang for the buck. Again, BuckeyeSportsCenter.com. Have fun on the water, guys.